Okay. Okay, so by the way, Eleanor, we can play this chess opening as black as well. It's just that the traps might not work as great as black. However, remember, I like to teach chess openings that can be played by both colors. Now, another thing is when you're practicing a chess opening, it is okay to play faster games because your main focus isn't all the rest of the moves. It's usually the first 10 or 15 moves of your opening theory. I just mean when we're talking about fast practice games. Let's try this one. Oh, no. Okay, fine. Don't accept me. Oh, yay, we're going to be playing. Okay, so remember, the first 3 moves are going to be 99% the same. Oh, okay, they're going to do something similar to us. So we're going to be playing bishop b2 first, and then e3. Doesn't really matter, but usually you want to bring out the bishop to attack. They are playing something different to what we're used to. Okay, so in this case, Eleanor, we kind of have to make a decision. Should we play f4 or should we play the pyramid setup? What are you in the mood for? Pyramid. Let's play the pyramid. So this opening is flexible. It gives you flexibility, and now we can still do the pyramid. Yay, now we have achieved our pyramid setup, which I'm pretty happy about. Now we can just develop our pieces like usual. We just bring out our knight. We're just going to develop our knight over here to d2. We can move the knight to c3, Eleanor, but what I like moving the knight here because it doesn't block off the bishop. And in this case, we do have to play knight to d2 because this would be losing the knight. So at least now we have 1, 2, 3 defenders. Now the question is, Eleanor, do we want to trade queens or do you want to keep the queens on the board? Sure. Good. Okay, so pawn goes to e6. Now, in this situation here, we just need to create another developing move. Now we can decide to move the bishop here to e2 or d3. Now, another thing is I also don't necessarily like the queen being around here. So in this position here, let's I guess, where would you like to develop the bishop, Eleanor? E2, sure. Because you don't want the bishop to be looking at a pawn, right? Okay, so in this position here, they ended up playing, so as you can see, the queen is actually defending the pawn, which makes sense. However, so in this position here, I do recommend, let's see if we can play this move. So the queen is the only one that's defending this pawn. Now, here's the thing, Eleanor, if we do a trade, I'm a little bit worried it's just going to help the bishop come out. And we don't really want that. So what I was thinking here is we create a massive pawn storm. Take a look, a massive pawn storm. Oh, and they already made a mistake. So as you can see here, Eleanor, in this position, they completely forgot about this pawn being protected. So what we can do here is we can simply capture this pawn for free. Yep, that was a free pawn. And even if they capture here, we can capture back with the bishop. And now we're going to have a really nice bishop on this diagonal. So I know that we didn't win the pawn in, okay. I mean, I don't mind if I do. I do like having 2 passed pawns in the center. That was very kind. I made a joke yesterday. I think they're making, they're giving a donation to the Odd Alert Lizard charity fund. They're donating. So there's nothing in. Exactly. Now look at where the knight is going. I don't know, this chess position is just absolutely beautiful for white. Not only are we +2 points, we have 2 pawns in the center, and they are pass pawns. I understand that not everyone's going to be playing like this, and also in serious chess, they might not play this. Well, let's move the knight out, because guess what? If they do a mistake, we might even win the bishop. I don't know. We shall see what the queen is going to do. Ah, exactly where I wanted to go. And now we get our wonderful fork. Now we get a wonderful, wonderful fork. Okay, so what is going on here? Is there a checkmate threat? No, it doesn't seem like it. However, I don't know why I want to put in this move first before we take. Yeah, because the queen is still yet again in danger, so we can take our time with capturing. Now, also another reason why I'm thinking about this is I'm also trying to move the queen away, because now do you see how this queen can really come in to the territory? It would have been great for a fork. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, this is very scary. And then if the king moves here, we have another fork coming, or a checkmate. What am I talking about? There's even checkmate, like bishop goes here. Okay. I would really love to do, let's just push forward. This looks good. What's the problem? Even if they take this pawn, I'm not scared. I'm not worried at all, actually, because there are some checkmating chances here. So after push, this would be checkmate if it wasn't for this pawn. Okay, so look at my plan. So we do check, king moves here. If it wasn't for this pawn, this would be checkmate immediately. So what we do here, I mean, I could do check right now, Eleanor, and then we can win the rook. But I'm just thinking, let's take this pawn and threaten checkmate. And there you go. We got our first game. That was a good game. So he did play something a little bit different. I guess he was trying to take over the center control. Yep, will do. I know 5 minute. I usually don't want you guys to play 5 minute, but maybe 10 minute if no one's taking my 5 minute challenge. Okay, as black, not an issue. Maybe we can still see this person's 700. So we still do the same 3 moves. And we're still... Exactly. So we can still try to win this pawn. Oh, okay, or they just give it to us, to the charity, the Odd Alert Lizard Charity Fund. Okay, so the first 3 moves isn't 99% of the time if your opponent just gives away a pawn for free like that. So then I apologize. Then of course you have more games. Yeah, I guess 90% of the time. I just like to say 99% of the time because just to keep it engraved into your brain that those are the first 3 moves. And why is this opponent? I don't like these games if they're just going to be sitting. One issue of having, like on Chess Kid, right? Sometimes the kids just like don't make a move, and then they just have us wait forever and ever and ever. I almost just want to resign. I don't mind losing my chess rating. I don't want to wait for... Oh, okay, good. Okay, so I know being greedy is not the best idea. However, in this situation, do you see how the rook can't capture the pawn on g7, so we should be fine. So once the rook moves away, we quickly go back home. And remember, do not worry, there's no 4-move checkmate, because once we play e6, that's it, we've blocked off this bishop. So, I mean, as long as when the queen moves here that we don't capture the rook and get checkmated. We could play g6 if you want, but I also like e6. Okay, so what are they going to do? Are they going to move the rook away? Are they going to threaten checkmate? I do not know, but either way, we are not scared of either one. Okay, bishop just moves back to his little house. He went for a little errand. He went for a little, actually, I guess 2 errands. He took the pawn and he took the other pawn, and then he came back home with groceries. Yep. Went to the park and went to the dentist. That's correct. I need to go check. I need to go to the dentist soon. Oh yeah, they do. Yep. That is true. Okay, what is going on here? Yeah. What is he or she is going to do? It might actually be a girl this time. Mia?
Maya.
Or Maya?
Miliana.
Yeah, that actually that sounds like a girl's name and last name, or maybe even a long, like a pretty full name. I wish you know what I wish on Chess Kid is only after you finish the game you can see who you were playing, but it would be cool if you knew who you were playing right away. Okay, so what's up with this move? Why did they make this move? I have no idea. Nothing's in danger. Well, there you go. We have our position, and we can do our pyramid setup if we want, or we could even do our kind of reversed or other side dragon. I think the other side dragon we kind of call the Dutch opening or transposition of the Dutch opening, but 30 seconds. Okay, so what are we going to do, Eleanor? Do we do the pyramid or do we do the other side dragon? Oh, actually, in this case, maybe... You know what? In this case, let's not open up our king when this rook is here. You know what? Let's We can wait. Actually, you know what? Let's wait. We can still play pawn f5 later. I know there's only 30 seconds for our opponent though. "13 seconds. Okay, play versus. Okay, let us. So we have 3 minutes. They only have 1 second. I mean, how about we just attack this bishop? Are they going to expect it? They're probably going to lose by time. That's what I was expecting. If you make an attacking move when they have only 1 second, just you can always make an unexpected move. And yeah, so that was a little bit of a not the most instructive game, but let's hope that we can. So pawn b3, bishop b2, pawn e3. It's almost as if they see some of the stronger chess players on ChessKid. They've probably even played against the Nimzo-Larsen, which is why we're not achieving it. But you know what? We can just get our beautiful pyramid setup, which is what I like to play, and it is very flexible. So look, we get our, oh, they're doing double sniper bishops. Okay, so here, Eleanor, when you see someone having this pawn chain, it's probably better not to have our pawns like looking in that direction. So let's play bishop e2. So if our bishop isn't being blocked on this line, then we would move the bishop to d3. However, okay, so the knight moves here. That's totally fine. What we can do is we can just castle, or we can maybe play queen to c2 and then just attack the knight. And then, oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't expect that move, actually, Eleanor. I was expecting pawn to f5 in this position instead. Queen takes d2. Knight takes d2, it would be bad. We would just lose this this pawn on g2. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's a good sacrifice, but I'm not sure. Okay, so in this position, they're trying to do the same thing against us. So let's castle. Now, look at our... Okay, Eleanor, yep. Okay, so in this position here, pawn goes to c5. They're really trying very hard to put pressure on our center, but that's okay. Guess where our 2 rooks are going? Our 2 rooks are going where the pawn is looking at. Actually, maybe capturing, I don't know. Oh, you know what we should do, Eleanor, in this position? We should create a passed pawn. Let's do it. Then we take it. Now we have 2 defenders versus 2 attackers, and also the bishop is busy defending the knight. So, yep, so I was thinking the bishop is going to capture ours, but it's okay. Look at our queen. Our queen is really putting pressure on the dark squares. Okay, so they made a mistake. What was this bishop defending before? The knight. So let's just capture here. And then guess what? If we are lucky on the next turn, what do we do when there's a pinned piece? Oh, or what's the Take the queen, exactly. Very good. And rage quit. Why is no one playing exactly the moves? It's just because I guess what I've noticed is that people who are above 1300, they don't fall for the easy traps in the Nimzo-Larsen, but they do fall for the harder traps, which I haven't taught you yet, but I will. Let's see. Come on, one game. I just want to win the pawn on e5 or e4. So first three moves are the same. Now remember, we want to try to remove the defender of the pawn on e4, on the e. So we're trying, oh, there you go. Guess what? We just made it happen, even as black. So we remove the defender, and then we take the pawn. Now, please be very careful about this bishop. I mean, I guess he or she decided not to do this move, but they could have tried winning our rook. I don't know. It might be a he or a she. There's more boys or more men who play chess, so there's a higher chance that it would be a boy, but it could be a girl, of course. Okay, so in this position here, we have to make a decision. Are we going to let's do that dragon. Let's do that dragon setup here. Or you know what? Let's do the dragon setup a little bit later. I'm a little bit scared of this bishop. Be careful of that bishop. Okay, so in this position here, okay, let's make the dragon on the other side setup work this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the knight out to e4. See, the bishop is defending the knight, and then we're going to use the pawn as a hook. So we're going to create the wing now. So Eleanor, we're creating the wing a little bit later, but see, this time we are having the the dragon on the other side. And we did actually castle our king before we moved the f-pawn. So we did follow some rules today. Some rules. Yeah, maybe not that many. Okay, so let's play here. Technically speaking, there's a really interesting move that white maybe could have had to take advantage of our bishop that is hanging here. I think they had knight g5 actually. That was a very interesting move. Okay, so in this position, we're up a point. So if we want, we can just get rid of this. Our knight is well placed. However, I'm a little bit worried about this bishop that's unprotected. So let's do a trade. I think trading off this really nice knight is not the best decision. However, we are following the rules of trading when we are up points. Okay, so in this position here, the queen is putting pressure on the pawn on. Let us just bring out the knight. Oh, actually, that probably wasn't the best decision on my end because of knight e5. That's actually a very good move, which I just noticed. So see, even chess masters, they make mistakes in the game. So the reason why this is a good move is because, once again, the bishop is left undefended. I think I have to play knight a5 to not lose the pawn. You know what? I'm going to have to play knight a5. Now the bishop is protected. It's okay, our knight is downgraded. However, we didn't have to lose any pawns or any points. Their knight on e5 is very well placed. Why are they moving their knight away? Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to play pawn c5. Should we play pawn c5? Well, let's actually start off with, we're going to play rook to c8, protect this pawn, and then here is some ideas. We're going to play queen to f6. No, I don't like queen f6 actually. Why do I not like queen f6? Is because of this pawn. This pawn is very annoying. Okay, we're going to play rook e8. We're going to defend this pawn on e6. By the way, this person's playing quite good. He's playing quite good. He's playing good moves. He did lose the pawn early, but he is playing good moves in this position. Okay, that makes sense. I want to trade pieces when I am up. Let's trade. I don't like how all of the pieces are doing really well. Okay, 1 minute. Yep. I had a feeling that that move was going to be played. Now, how about if I just chase away that knight? I don't think that this was a really good move by him, by the way. Him or her. Because, take a look, we're attacking the knight. There's no more fork. And I'm going to ruin the safety of my opponents. Thank you. No, we're practicing a new chess opening today for both sides. What I spoke about. Yeah, I'm going to be having I'm going to be posting these on YouTube. However, I do have a class in 5 minutes. Okay, 6. Sorry, the reason, yep, so this person who is 1300 is actually playing really, really well. We ended up winning a pawn super early in the game, which was really, really nice. And this is why I was telling like Eleanor that it's a good thing for her to practice this opening, because we won a pawn right away on move 7 or 6. Yeah, on move 6. There you go. Over here. And don't worry, like the YouTube channel is going to explain the moves, but also it's going to include like for any of my students to watch any of the game analysis that I have. I do only have 18 seconds right now, but I do know that this is a winning game. We're going to create a pass pawn. We have 1 extra point. This knight is very annoying. We're not losing the pawn. We can get it back. So sorry, just have 14 seconds. Okay, so the rook captures here, attacking the pawn. Now what we can do is we can do some teamwork. Let's bring out bring in the knight. Maybe we should have created a... Oh, nope. There's a fork here, so can't do that yet. Let's protect this pawn first, Eleanor, and then we can do a double up on this side. Sorry, I only have 11 seconds. We're just going to play rook b2, attack the knight. Then we're going to try to steal... Oh, okay, yep. We're going to go here. We're going to try doubling up on the 7th or on the 2nd rank. I don't know what this move was about. Yeah, it's just a random check, yeah. So now we double, yeah. I'm very bad at speed chess. That's probably not the best move. I think that was interesting. Oh, maybe knight b3. Oh, I just missed that. There was a really pretty move, knight b3. Okay, king goes here. Okay. I want to do something different this time. I don't know if this, yeah, I had knight b3. Maybe I could have just went back and redid it. You know what? Maybe I'll go this way. Sorry about that. Ooh, I'm just not very good at speed chess, but I was telling my students though, when you're practicing chess openings, it's okay to play faster games because your main focus is to play the first 10 moves correctly, right? The result of the game is not necessarily so important. These are going to be, so I'm actually recording these games.